Waiting to hear if the U.S. Supreme Court will take up Colorado's case that ruled former President Donald Trump is not eligible for our state's March primary ballot.
It's a decision that is making waves nationally. We first brought you this news on First at 4 yesterday. Their decision is on hold pending an appeal to the U.S. Supreme Court, and Donald Trump's attorneys promised a quick appeal. Here's our political specialist, Sean Boyd.
There definitely is a lot to unpack here with the court's decision, and I've got two experts to help me do just that. CBS Republican analyst Dick Wadhams and Democratic strategist Sheila McDonald. Thank you both for coming in, helping us with this. I want to just start with, this is a democratically appointed state Supreme Court. So, Dick, are you surprised by the ruling?
No, I wasn't. And as you point out, there are no Republican appointees on the court. I was surprised that 3 of the justices said no, and they were strongly worded oppositions to the decision. But and I think that weakens the case when it goes to the Supreme Court in terms of whether that. But no, I wasn't surprised. It's a bad decision, but I wasn't surprised.
Sheila, your thoughts on it? 4-3 ruling. Surprised?
I was not surprised by it. I think it reflects how people are feeling about this issue, not just in Colorado, but across the country, about whether or not he should be on the ballot, not just here, but other places. So I wasn't surprised. I think it's a difficult legal decision, and it's going to remain so moving forward.
It certainly raised a lot of questions for the U.S. Supreme Court when it eventually lands before them. The ruling comes less than 4 weeks before the Iowa caucuses. So, Dick, what impact do you see this having on the primary? Does it help or hurt Trump?
I mean, it helps Trump. Really does. Think about it. Every time he's indicted, which has been like 90 times now, his numbers go up. Well, this makes those things look pale in comparison. Kicking him off the ballot, in the short term, it helps him. But I actually think, Sean, in the long term, this probably hurts him, because I think in the long term, as people turn their attention to this national election, I think people are going to get worried or wary of the chaos. And so right now, big boost. Long term, I'm not sure.
It's one of the things that voters tired of in 2020. One of the reasons that, you know, people like you said maybe he lost because they were just tired of the chaos, the drama. You know, Sheila, Dick is right. Trump's support soars every time he's indicted. And of course, as soon as this ruling came down, what did his campaign do? They put out the fundraising emails, right? And probably Drew a Hall. Do you think this makes him more sympathetic? Do you think to his supporters? I mean, first it's the election was stolen. Now it's the legal system is out to get me.
Right. I think it makes him more sympathetic to the primary Republican voters, which tend to be more to the right than the general election voters. So I think in that case, it will make him more sympathetic, and it will give him a boost. I agree with Dick on that. It'll give him a boost, but it also gives his opponents an opportunity to go after him a little bit, and it'll be the case of 1,000 nicks with him. I think you just keep nicking away at him, and he's going to have to battle that, and he's putting out so many fires. You know, a campaign's difficult enough, but when you're having to put out all these other fires at the same time, for the campaign team, makes it virtually impossible to manage.
It is interesting. His opponents, none of them have gone after him, though. They've all come out and said, this isn't a decision the court should make. It's one the voters should make, right? I mean, they had an opportunity right there, and they didn't.
No, but I think that if I was running one of those campaigns, I would have done the same thing, Sean. I wouldn't have gone after him. It would have backfired with his supporters. I think keeping your distance and saying it was the wrong decision was probably the right place to be.
So in his dissent, Justice Samore said he was worried about the potential chaos that could result if some states disqualify Trump, other states don't. So, Dick, do you think other states are going to follow suit? And do you agree with Samore that this could lead to chaos?
Absolutely. I think it's an awful decision. 13 states, I think, as of today, had this same thing going on. California now is moving that direction. The lieutenant governor of California said today she wants California to kick him off the ballot. So in the short term, I think other states are going to say, well, let's go do this after they saw what happened. I think, though, long term, and with the Supreme Court probably ruling against it before January 5th, it probably, it's going to calm down a little bit after that.
So, Sheila, in addition to this case, the U.S. Supreme Court will also decide if Trump's immune from prosecution for his efforts to overturn the 2020 election. I think no matter how it rules, it is going to almost certainly have a dramatic fallout. So how does this end well?
That's the question, I think, of the year is how does this end well? I think it's going to be very difficult. Whenever you get the courts involved in this process, I mean, you remember Gore and Bush. And
right.
It really does divide the country. And so we were talking earlier about if there is a Supreme Court decision on this issue, a 9-0 is better than a divided decision. So I think we have to see how it plays out. But I do think, I think he will be, I do think the Supreme Court will not have him be immune from some of these charges. I just don't think they will do that. I think he will.
He will lose on some of this.
I think he will lose on some of it. And I hope he will lose on some of it.
We'll see. I mean, thank you for your insight. It is definitely, if this is any indication, going to be a very tumultuous 2024 election cycle. Back to you all.
All right, thank you, Sean. Sean has a reaction from across the country coming up in another 30 minutes. And you can watch all of our coverage anytime on our website, cbscolorado.com.